I'm so glad all of you could be here. And let me just say I am honored to be a recipient of the Texas Council of Administrators of Special Ed Student Success Story of the Year Award. I would also like to thank Mrs. Jan DeHaven from Northeast Independent School District for nominating me for this award. Now, as it was stated, I have been diagnosed with high-functioning autism, or better known as Asperger's syndrome, ADHD, anxiety, and late developing OCD. I'm currently enrolled in Texas A&M University, San Antonio, working towards a degree in working towards a Bachelor of Business Administration in Computer Information Systems. Now, I love computers. I have my own desktop computer. I built it myself. I built my brother's desktop computer. I've recently also gotten into programming. And I've even built my own FM radio station. I had an antenna put in the attic. I ran a coaxial cable down into my room, played my own music, and it broadcasted a good 1.5 miles. Now, overall, the big importance here is that of special ed and the administrators and teachers behind it. Now, a big question here is, how did special ed make me the success I am today? You know, examples being graduating from high school, working 5 years of summer jobs to make money for college, being in college, working towards my major, and working with DPS on training law enforcement officials on autism and how to spot it. And to me, the idea of living a strong, independent, or living a successful life is living a strong, independent life. That would be driving to and from work myself, being self-sufficient, buying my own groceries, etc. Everything starting in elementary school was an endeavor, a big endeavor to find out what was happening with me, because up until the 3rd grade, we had no idea what was going on with me. I didn't socialize with other children, I acted strange sometimes, and so the first milestone was finding out that I was on the autism spectrum. Now, in the 3rd grade, there was a teacher. She had just come back from a seminar, and she handed my mom a piece of paper with all the symptoms of autism. And sure enough, I fit the bill with everything on there. And my mom, she began to feel choked up because she was not only shocked, because she thought, but my son having autism? And she was not only shocked, she was also relieved to know there was finally an explanation to what was going on with me. Now, the second milestone was learning about what comes with Asperger's, and that would be being sensitive to certain smells, not liking loud sounds, social awkwardness. And the teachers would help me out with this, like if I didn't like certain smells in the cafeteria, or I didn't like any loud sounds in the cafeteria, they would let me eat somewhere quiet, somewhere secluded. But the smells, maybe, and the loud sounds would keep me from learning most of the time. Now, the 3rd milestone was figuring out my learning methods. Like, was I a tactile learner? Was I an auditory learner? Was I a visual learner? And one thing I found out was sitting in front of the class helped out a lot, rather than sitting in the back, which would more than likely get me distracted. Eventually, I found myself in the 5th grade. My 5th grade teacher, Miss Calloway, was giving a question about probability. She was asking, how probable is it that the sun will rise in the morning? And I said, well, technically the sun isn't rising, it's just the earth rotating to give me illusion. But when she heard that, she wrote a note to my parents about how she depicted me as brilliant instead of autistic. And this one note, it helped my family on how they perceive autism. And like this example shows this next thing that the teacher's perspective impacts the parent's perspective a lot. Now, time went on, I found myself in middle school, I didn't see bullying as much of a problem as the special ed administrators did. I still rode the bus to and from middle school, but one day the assistant principal phoned my parents, and they said they kept, you know, the buses have cameras on them. They caught video of bullies throwing stuff at my head, like pieces of paper, but for some odd reason I never told my parents. But thanks to this intervention from the assistant principal, we were able to stop this bullying and a majority of a whole lot more bullying. Now, working together with the faculty and the teachers can do the same. It can prevent a whole lot more bullying than if the faculty didn't intervene. Now, I found myself in high school, which surprisingly enough was a lot more easier than middle school, and I found the older I got, the easier it was. Now, one service that special ed provided that helped me out a ton was revolved around fire drills. Now, how many of you know what a jump scare is? Well, basically the fire drills there was the equivalent of a jump scare. You didn't know when it was going to go off, you didn't know what time of day it was going to happen, and the impendingness of when it was going to happen just terrified me. I couldn't work, I couldn't focus on my work at all, and I did not want to go to school at all. But eventually, we didn't know what was going on, but eventually I figured it out. I told my parents, and because of this, we told the special ed administrators and teachers, and they provided a service where they took me out before the fire drill went off, and we would just stand outside while the fire drill went off, and because of this, I was able to get back to my work as normal. I didn't have any fear anymore because of that. Now, being in high school provided numerous electives for me, and one of them happened to be my engineering class, and my favorite teacher was in that class. His name is Mr. Ward. And being in this class allowed me to participate for the first time in a competition, a statewide competition even, and I entered some engineering designs into this competition and won at various levels. And as a person with autism, it felt so good to finally be utilizing my skills towards specialized interests. Now, high school came and went, and eventually I graduated. I did graduate with an engineering award, which was in advanced engineering design and presentation. And even though I was less than 1 point away from graduating cum laude, my family and I still celebrated that day of graduation because we knew everything from kindergarten up until that point was a team effort between family, educators, school district, and personal initiative that allowed somebody with autism like me to go this far. I truly believe that my foundation for future success was a large part due to the special ed administrators and teachers that I was afforded throughout my school years. To all of you who may influence someone like me, a person with special needs, know that your impact is great. Even if you can't see it, your impact really is great, one way or the other. A person can be crippled if they think of themselves as broken, but a person can soar and really let their talent shine if they think of themselves as gifted instead. Thank you.